Thank you, Mona. Ladies and gentlemen, we're joined from Ramallah by Mr. Ashraf Akka, the political analyst. Mr. Akka, welcome to Q News. What strategic or diplomatic goals might the UK, Canada and Australia be pursuing by jointly recognizing the state of Palestine at this moment?
First of all, having the two-state solution as an international will that the international decisions has put in stone, and so this is a strike to the Israeli extremist objectives that have been trying to put obstacles in the way of reaching a two-state solution, and there is some believe that in the Western countries that a two-state solution is the only way to reach a lasting peace and stability, and add to that sending a real and serious political message for the need to start condemning Netanyahu and his actions and the extremist government that because he has obstacles in the way of reaching any peaceful outcome. And so the Palestinians' rights aren't just isn't just a word. We need to reach these rights, and we need to stop Israel's actions and objectives from trying to widen the settlements and taking down the Palestinian governments and even other illegitimate objectives. And so yes, we need a political stance, and these also we also need them to protect their legitimate rights from the extremist government, and also in addition that they will end the forcing them out of their land. This will end it. And they don't comply to the 1976, and so we need to keep the Palestinian rights and reach a two-state solution through a logical outcome, so that the Palestinians and Israelis can coexist safely and in peace. And so yes, safety and stability will not be reached unless we have legitimate rights for Palestinians and reach a sovereign state for the Palestinians. And we also need to settle according to the law 242 and 238. And so I think that these stances that keep condemning and exposing Israel and show that they do not comply to the international law, Geneva's agreement, and the humanitarian law.
Yes. Well, obviously everybody wants a two-state solution, and that's why there will be a summit dealing with this issue tomorrow. But do you think Canada, Britain and Australia might be wanting to ease down the uproar in their respective countries, or the public opinion, maybe have some sort of a bargaining chip or on a higher moral ground when dealing with countries such as the US?
I think that the USA today is actually some kind of, when it comes to the other countries, especially that most of the countries in the world and from the Security Council recognize Palestine, and so yes, if they try to counter this back, they will face condemnations and a unified stance from the other countries, and will actually hold Israel accountable and impose sanctions on them. And so that's why I think that today, when it comes to the Middle East case and the Palestinian statehood issue, are facing the USA. This is the truth. And so we saw that Trump's administration have worked on all have used strategies to escalate the tension, and so I think that for the summit for the peace that was led by by Saudi Arabia, and the meeting tomorrow led by Saudi Arabia and France, will keep the legitimate rights of the Palestinians. And throughout the previous years, I think that Israel's illegitimate and brutal actions ended and took over all the Palestinians' rights, and these aren't illegitimate, aren't legitimate. Sorry, and they created chaos in the region, and so we cannot say that it will keep on going like this. And I think that what happened in the past hours will not put an end to will put an end to Israel's settlement plans, not only in Palestine but also in Syria and Lebanon. And if today the government with Netanyahu as the leader, they are discussing the sovereignty of Jordan with Trump, and so I think that the USA, if they attempt to make a big mistake like they did before with giving Netanyahu the green light to strike Qatar to target Hamas, they will face huge condemnation and will have consequences for their actions. And I think that the USA will also face international condemnation and will be excluded just like and hated just like Israel. And so we need to look at the importance of these recognitions, especially now when Israel and the USA are trying to create more chaos and tension and instability in the Middle East with the genocide that's going on in Gaza, the settlements, and even taking over the West Bank, breaches of the with the breaches that happen and the atrocities that happen in East Jerusalem. And so yes, we are facing this open war basically with the legitimate rights and facing the USA support. And I think that the countries now fully understand that they need to speak up and to face
pardon, but what about Israel? Do you think that these recognitions could influence internal Israeli politics, especially like with figures like Yair Lapid and Benny Gantz opposing the move?
I think that domestically and with the domestic politics, I think that they that this tsunami that's happening and the chaos, I think that they are blaming it all on Netanyahu, and that he and they're saying that he failed in the Gaza Strip and failed to reach his objectives, and he also failed in other wars, especially that he claimed that he has reached a great objectives with ending Hezbollah and ending the war with Syria and other claims. And so yeah, I think that Netanyahu's file today is closer to being discussed in international courts. Netanyahu and all the extremist leaders, and they don't have as domestic stability right now. Even in Israel, they keep reaffirming the importance of holding Netanyahu accountable and to see how Israel reached this point of being internationally condemned. And I think that this is what led us to a recognition of a Palestinian statehood. And I think that there will be domestic statements that we will see the effect of in the upcoming weeks and months. And I think Netanyahu is in actual trouble, and the whole extremist government basically. And I think that the domestic politics in Israel will be unstable. And if we look at Israel's reaction to these statements, we will see how troubled and how unstable the Israeli leaders are living right now, and how the domestic politics aren't stable either now.
Yes, and I'm sure we will be seeing a lot of reaction over the next few days as well. From Ramallah, that was Mr. Ashraf Aka, the political analyst. Mr. Aka, thank you very much for joining us here on Q News.